parties are collateral damage. Is that what you're saying?
Well, if you say collateral damage, because they were with them, because they were aiding them, and anybody who is with them, aiding them, is a legitimate target. So for any Nigerian, please avoid them. Do not have anything, because if you carry your store, your wares to go and sell to them, and there's an attack there, you can't say you are a civilian, because you are part of the conflict. You are providing support for them to work, and anybody who is providing support is a legitimate target.
Let me ask you about the IPOB agitation. Simon Ekpa, for example, you've told me before that you're working with the foreign authorities to ensure, but now what updates do you have now?
No, I think the Finnish government have their own procedure they're going through. The Nigerian government have forwarded all the relevant documents, exhibits, and everything about what's going on. So I'm sure I'm sure justice will be done.
So it looks like it's taking longer than necessary.
Well, it's not our country; it's a sovereign country. They have their own procedures, so they have to follow their own procedures. Ours is to ensure that we follow up and make sure that we monitor what's being done. But I'm sure they will do, because we have been able. I think the Attorney General did a fantastic job, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Defense, together with the Office of the National Security Advisors, comprehensive things were done. Exhibits were forwarded that will enable them to be able to take action.
How dangerous was Simon Ekpa's activities and all allied or related to your office and to the Nigerian society?
Very, very, innocent people were killed just by his utterances. And so we needed to stop that. And that's immediately they picked him, you see that it has gone down. There are people like him that also doing those things. We're also equally going after them, both outside and within. There are people that benefit. You know, the funny thing about the country is that some people think everything is about politics. So there are individuals that feel if there is peace, then maybe the government is doing too well, and then people want to applaud. So some people intentionally want to make sure that the country remains ungovernable. There's strife everywhere, but innocent people are killed. If you want to be a leader and you are praying for some people to be killed just because you want to come in, I think there's a problem somewhere.
So the agitation in the Southeast region, I mean, you have mentioned that it is not only the fight, but there are other measures. Yeah. Do you think that the release of Nnamdi Kanu might help the situation?
Well, I don't know. I think the federal government is considering all options, and I think that's a decision, that's a political decision. It's not our own decision. Our own decision is to stop the killing, to ensure that we secure the communities and that they're free. People must stop providing necessary support to these individuals. In Maiduguri, why Trendin came up is that people stopped supporting them, and they were able to come out. So I think the same thing should be repeated here. So that we can have, to whatever grievance they have representatives that will represent them, that will make cases for them. But besides that, we're always using the kinetic and the non-kinetic. It's not only about force. The non-kinetic aspect is also working. Like I mentioned, the kinetic effort is just about 30%. Non-kinetic is almost 70-65% of the whole solution. So we're also working towards that. The federal government is working with the opinion leaders, with stakeholders in the Southeast, to ensure that they let them come together and discuss and be able to call this and stop this wanton killing. Those guys doing the killing, you wonder what they're doing for. They are just killing people randomly.
But what about the kidnapping? Is really getting
It's all part of it, because they use that to make money.
Not only in the Northwest, it's happening.
It's a social challenge. It is a social challenge. Why? Poverty. Illiteracy. People just think everything is monetized. So everybody just wants to make money the way and manner. That's what it's causing. I'm sure you've heard of individuals kidnapping themselves. There are family members kidnapping family members. There is a woman that kidnapped her husband. So it has become a social malaise that's affecting everywhere. And he's talking about the society. So those are the things that we need to really look at.
General, are you worried when you hear about another leader of another country who alleged about our president and the NSA's office and the Nigerian military that there is a collusion with terror groups? I mean, does that bother you in some way?
Well, it should, because for the leader of a country to come out and say this and, say a lot of lies, things that are false.
So he was lying?
Completely. We told him, come and prove it. Nigeria's foreign policy has always been African-centered. We have bent our backs for Africans. Even when at the end of it we were paid in bad currency. But we did so, and we're still doing so. During the apartheid region, I'm sure you know what Nigeria did. Mandela and everybody was here. We did that for East Africa. We did that in Liberia. We lost so many people. We lost equipment. We lost so much money. Sierra Leone, we did the same thing. As we speak, we have troops securing, providing security in Gambia, Central African Republic, Equatorial. We have people doing. That's what Nigeria does. Presently, we have the former president of Sierra Leone in Nigeria, just to make sure that there's peace in Sierra Leone. So you can see we have never used the Nigerian soil to allow anybody use our soil to attack any African country or any other country, because it's not in our place. We have everything that we need. We don't need anything. We're not looking for landmass. We're not looking for population. We're over 200 million. We have natural resources. God has blessed us so much. What do we need from them? So for him to come out, and I'm sure he has realized that he has made a mistake. That's why you see of recent, he doesn't come out to make all this falsehood. Sometimes again, it's pressure. You know, he has come in, it's a military regime. Military regimes are no more popular. Everybody wants democracy. Now, what does he do? Is he going to remain as a military man for how long? Is he going to transit to a civilian?
But are those regimes threatening our our territorial integrity in any way? Because it's a fashion, and we saw what happened. Even when
you know, if you notice, those countries doing it are all francophone countries, and their main grounds was against France. They felt grants didn't. I mean, they look at Anglophone countries. Britain had left, Nigeria had been independent. They have been held hostage. That's how they felt.
But most of them are, they are our neighbors.
Yeah, well, they are our neighbors. They're still francophone.
So the question is whether or not that in any way, because around that time there were also threats about a possible coup on Nigerian soil.
No, not ever. It's
not under your watch.
Nobody ever contemplated that. The armed forces of Nigeria is highly professional. I mean, mistakes have been made in the past with the military regimes. Nobody wants that anymore. And I can tell you, we thrive better in a democracy. But we will never want. Nobody is thinking about that. Nobody has that in his mind.
You're a general, though. So a lot of the times these things are done under the commanding officers.
We have. It is because the way you handle your troops. I can tell you, we have the best of support from our troops, from the private.
And anything like that can never happen.
It can't happen. Not in Nigeria. Not anymore.